You are listening to Resilient Life, the podcast where we explore the power of resiliency. I'm Nikita Ross. It is my hope that listening to this podcast will give you the tools to connect with and increase your resiliency. So join me on this adventure of self-discovery and self-love. I'm going to start by introducing. This is my father, James Buckner. And so this episode is a pretty special episode and a pretty personal episode for me to be able to ask my father some questions. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I wanted to start by asking you, how old are you?
73.
What brings you joy?
I think what brings me the most joy is when Sania says, "Pop, pop."
Your grandbaby.
Yeah, my granddaughter.
So when your grandbaby sees you and she says, Papa!
And my heart just melts.
I love that. That's actually really beautiful. With that in mind, what is your greatest wish for your grandchildren?
First of all, to be healthy. And then to be happy, you know. And, well, I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good wish. How would you know if your children were happy?
By the looks on their faces. You know, if you're happy, you're smiling. If you're sad, you're not.
Okay. I like that. I think that's a great wish for a parent, that they want their children happy and healthy. I like that. I think that's really good. And their grandchildren to be happy and healthy and not think about necessarily like the material things, because those can
not rich,
right.
Yeah.
But what really matters is your health and your happiness. I like that. So what is your favorite memory, just if you were to think of over your life of 73 years, what thus far, because you can make more memories, but thus far, what has been your favorite memory?
When they approved my VA check and I got a lump sum money and I sent everybody some money.
So you mentioned the VA check, so that means that you are a veteran, correct?
Correct.
How long ago was that?
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I got to Vietnam Christmas Eve, 1969.
Wow. So many years ago.
Many.
Do you feel like there are impacts and effects? Do you feel like going to war has a long-lasting impact? Or do you think once you leave it, you can leave everything behind? Or do you think you carry parts of it with you?
You always carry part of it with you. And something like that, you see so much that you're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
I ain't want to say death and killing.
You can say that, yeah. Saw a lot of very, very traumatic things. Yeah. And so, do you feel like experiencing that made you a different person?
Of course.
How so?
I mean, you can't experience that and not be changed by it,
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. What if you were to think about some of the changes that happened, what would you say?
About what?
If you were to think about, you said it changed you. How did it change you?
Well, it just changed my whole outlook at everything. I came back and I was an alcoholic. I smoked weed. I done it all. So I think a lot of that had to do with Vietnam too. Yeah,
I'm sure it did. 100%. I'm sure it did to experience the things that you experienced. That's hard for anybody to have to deal with. So I'm pretty sure. I'm no professional, but that just seems like human nature to me, that would have an impact on a person. How did you overcome the drugs and the alcohol that you just mentioned?
Well, but with the drinking, I had to stop for health reasons. And then plus, it was just, when I drink, it would have me sick for 3 or 4 days after. So I had to leave that alone.
Yeah. Okay, so you stopped the drinking. You cut back on your smoking. How did you do that?
Actually, I've never been a pack a day smoker.
Okay.
So now, like, a pack will last me like 4 days. I figured that ain't bad. That'll lead to quitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cutting back.
Yeah. I know that all my memories, or a lot of my memories of you, are of you being a walker, like just walking.
Mm-hmm.
And I also enjoy walking. And I think I got it from you as well as mom, because mom memories of her are of walking as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about walking? Was it just the easiest way to get to where you wanted to go, or you didn't have access to transportation? What was it about walking for you?
I just don't mind walking.
Yeah. 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 I enjoy it as well. It's actually a really good exercise.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. If you think back to your childhood, how would you describe it? Chicago tough. Chicago tough.
Projects in Chicago.
Okay. Can you tell us more for those who don't know anything about the projects in Chicago?
Robert Taylor projects, they ran from 39th to 53rd, I think, all the way down State Street. And it was quite a few killings through there when I was there. Because when I was 16, I've seen 2 people die. They got shot on the side of the expressway. So we're in the projects, we came right over the railroad tracks. And Lloyd was shot in the heart. And Eddie was shot in the temple. And Eddie died while we were there. And Lloyd's brother was telling the family, hurry up, man, hurry up, what y'all doing with up? They said, man, it's too late already, So he died.
And so you saw this?
Yeah, I saw
And this is before?
This was when I was 16.
Oh, wow. And was that your first time?
Singing something like that.
Wow. What, did you tell anybody, like your mom or anybody?
This tucked in.
Yeah. And no one, and as your group of people who were left, did you all talk about how that impacted you seeing?
Never discussed it.
Never discussed it after that. So that was what it was like growing up on the south side of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And what used to be called the projects.
Robert RRT, Robert Taylor Housing or something. It's R or something.
Where was Robert Taylor? On State Street?
Yep. State and federal.
And is that where you met my mother?
Actually, it is.
And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I don't care. That's my baby.
Tell me more. Remember, I wasn't there, so I don't know. So tell me more.
Oh, well, she was great. I mean,
describe her for me.
Short, black, beautiful skin, and just all around pretty lady.
And do you remember if you approached her or if she approached you first? Do you remember?
I think she approached me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what it was. Andre came and asked me if I knew her, but I had seen her around the building, but I didn't really know her. But she used to sell candy in apartment 109. And Andre asked me if I would take her to the west side to pick up her candy. And I said, yeah. Well, we took her to the
So you
west.
had a car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I took her to the west side, got the candy. We came back, and we basically was together since then.
Do you know how old she was? Do you remember?
I mean, she was younger than me.
How old were you? Do you remember? About. Doesn't have to be exact. Like.
I was 27 when you were born.
Okay. I didn't realize she still lived there that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born basically in the projects.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm. Y'all used to live
48 South State. I remember the address. I don't remember. I have vague memories of 48 State. Like I remember the wire fence thingy that was like in the front of the whole building.
And then they put it all the way up.
Yeah. So that's I remember that when it was all the way up. I remember the vaguely. I vaguely remember like going to different people's apartments for parties and the kids would go in the back or something. I vaguely remember that. And then I remember we had a cat. And I remember you not liking cats.
Well, yeah, still don't.
So it's because you're allergic to a certain breed of cats, which is the Persian ones.
I take it personally.
And then you just discriminated against all cats. Okay. So I have vague memories. So then when my mom was living there, she was living there by herself. She wasn't living there with her parents.
No, not in the project. Y'all moved out there to your grandmother's house after she left the project.
Okay. When you think about your past relationships or the women you've dated, do you have one that just has a special place in your heart?
Well, I got like two.
Tell me.
Well, your mom, quite naturally. And then I had a girl named Dollar Taylor. When I was like in my early 20s, like 23, 24.
Okay. And tell me about her. Was that before my mom or after my mom?
That was before your mom.
Okay. So tell me about her.
Oh, well, she was, I don't know how to describe her, because she was everything that a man could want. But it was me that was the fool out there still running the streets, you know. So I blew that.
And then what would you say your best memory of my mom is?
When we went out on the beach when you were 6 months old or something. No, you weren't even 6 months old.
I've never heard this one. Can you tell me?
It was the 4th of July.
Okay.
So you February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, so you were
about
6 months old.
Almost, because 4th versus 10th. So basically, yeah.
And we had us a little picnic out at the lakefront.
The three of us?
No, it was a whole bunch of us. Margaret, a couple more people from the building, you know. And then my partner Joe Flowers, and we had a big party out there.
Yeah? So that's your fondest memory?
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. What's your fondest memory of me?
Seeing you graduate.
From college or high school? College. Yeah? Huh. I vaguely remember that. So it's funny that that's your favorite memory. What's your favorite memory of your son?
The day they released him from the hospital.
From his surgery?
When he was first born, he stayed in the hospital the first couple of months.
Oh. How long?
The first couple of months.
Oh,
we had to go out there, and the only way we could touch him was through the incubator thing.
Really?
Yeah. So he was like that a couple.
Growing up when you were younger, what did you want to be?
I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Really? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Tell me.
But I got sidetracked on everything because right after high school, I got drafted. Mm-hmm. So I never got a chance to
pursue that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about law attracted you? Why did you want to be a lawyer?
I don't know. Well, back then, my uncle never used to say I had to get the gab because I was a shorty. I talked a lot.
Really? Mm-hmm. Because you don't talk a lot now, and so it's hard to imagine that. When did you stop?
Probably Vietnam.
Another change. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to be a lawyer, and then when you got out, did you think about pursuing anything else?
After I got out, that's when I got into sprinkler pit, fire protection.
Okay. How did you like that?
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah?
Worked on Sears Tower 13 months. Been on the roof of Sears Tower.
Really? And now they call it the Willis Tower.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
And they didn't have that sky ride thing that y'all rode on when I worked on it.
That thing is scary. So they didn't have that?
That was built in later.
What kind of work did you do on the Sears/Willis Tower?
Fire protection, automatic sprinkler system.
Oh, wow.
I was one of the first blacks in the trade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would have been so proud when I went there to look and be like, oh, my dad helped this. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, that's really awesome.
Yeah, I worked on Sears Tower 13, 14 months.
Wow. I did not know that.
I have to have been on the roof of Sears Tower.
So you're not afraid
of heights. Looked over, and the cars looked like they're about that small. Oof. I got back, went on down. The guys I was with, you know, the white things on top of Sears Tower, those antennas. They went up in the antenna, got ladders in it. They went up in the ladders and was taking pictures of the city.
Wow.
I wasn't going to city. Once I looked down, I said, okay, that's it. I've been on top. I went back down to level ground.
Are you afraid of heights?
Not really.
Okay. Was that, so speaking of that, what has been your favorite job? Was that your favorite?
That was about my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it's a lapse kind of job. You ain't got nobody standing looking at the back of your head or none of that. You know, you sign the job and you go do that job.
Yeah, no micromanaging.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I totally get that. If you think back to the 73 years that you've been so far, and who knows how much longer you have, you may have 20 more, we don't know. What life lessons have you learned?
The one I tried to learn is patience.
Try. You said try.
Yeah. I still haven't conquered that one.
Why not?
I'm just impatient by nature.
Okay. So you tried to a life lesson of gaining patience. Any other life lessons?
I really don't think about it that much.
Okay. And then if you think about life lessons that you would want to share with me or your other children or your grandchildren or anyone, what kind of advice, what wisdom would you share?
Don't drink alcohol.
Don't drink alcohol because
it'll only hurt you in the end. You know, because over the long run, you know, you might be all right, but later on, it's gonna catch up with you.
Okay. How long did you drink alcohol?
35 years.
Okay. And so a life lesson you would share is don't drink alcohol. Any other wisdom or life lessons you would share with me or your grandchildren or anyone who would ask you for your wisdom?
I'm not that profound.
Fair. Okay. So I think don't drink alcohol is a good one.
Yeah.
What about if a person is struggling with choices? If you think back on your life about choices you've made, would you say you are proud of all of the choices?
Definitely not.
Okay.
But I mean, I made mistakes like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
we all do. Yeah. And so with that, knowing that you made mistakes, because we all do, like you said, that's true. What wisdom do you have about making choices? So if you were to talk to any of your grandchildren or anyone, me or anyone, or your nieces and nephews, you have nieces and nephews, and they were like, hey, how do I try to make sure I'm making good choices? What would you say?
I don't know about that one because I didn't make good choices, so I wouldn't be one to teach nobody else how.
That makes sense. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like you've made a couple of good choices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's impossible to be honest.
I got Buckner's beauties.
Your children and your grandchildren, the girls, you call them Buckner Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So none of your children have your last name. Do you feel any way about that?
Yeah, well, Blaine was gonna have his name changed, but the doctor died.
What do you mean?
The doctor that was handling it died, and Bimini just let it drop.
I thought you said lied. Mm-mm. The doctor died.
And Bimini just didn't pursue it anymore.
Okay. And so does it make you feel any way that none of your children have your last name?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm the last Buckner.
That's true. I didn't even think about it like that. How does that feel? What does that come with? Like, what do you think about when you think about being the last Buckner?
Ain't really much I can do about it.
Huh. Do you want me to change my name?
No.
Of your 3 children, who's your favorite?
I don't have any.
Good answer.
I love all my children equally.
What is your favorite memory of your other granddaughter, my oldest daughter?
Oh, me and Maya used to have a great time every day going to school. When I had to take on it, when Sunil was first born.
Yeah.
When I had to take her to school.
Yeah. So it was really cold. We lived in Chicago at the time. Mm-hmm. It was really cold and I didn't have a car, so we had to take public transportation from the south side of Chicago.
And I wasn't going to see you out there with the young baby.
With the brand new baby. Because Sunil was a newborn. So we had to take public transportation from the south side of Chicago to the north side, which maybe easy an hour it would take to get there, you think?
Well, might have been a little long because I had to catch the bus to the L, then the L down to your house, and then out north. North.
And so I remember those are actually, you've mentioned 2 of my favorite memories of you. One of them is that I have a couple, but that is one of them where when I had just had Samia, my youngest, you would come and take my oldest to school because she went to school outside of our community because I wanted her to have a different education than what I felt was being provided in our neighborhood. And you did that every day. One of my other favorite memories of you is teaching my oldest how to ride a bike. Despite my best efforts, I tried and tried and tried, and I learned that I don't think that's a skill set that I have, is to teach. And I tried and tried, and she couldn't get it. And then I dropped her off to you, and in a matter of less than 30 minutes, you had her riding her bike. Do you remember that?
She trusts me more than she trusts you. Mm-hmm. I think that's all it could have been. Because I didn't do nothing special. When she first started, I just pushed her all the way down the block, pushed her back down to the house, then pushed her a little bit, she took off.
So she felt more safe and more secure and more trusting with you teaching her than with me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm sure that is one of my favorite memories. Another one of my favorite memories of you is riding on your neck.
Yeah, I knew about that one.
And
I told me that one before.
So hurt when you started telling me I was too big and you didn't let me do it anymore. I'm so serious. I was so hurt. I was hurt to my core. I'm serious. Because I used to be it was one of my favorite things. What made you start doing that? Do you remember doing that?
You walked too slow when you was up.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. You walked too slow. I mean, let me see it.
And then you could go. I felt like I was a princess being carried around. I loved it. Loved it. And then you stopped, and I was just like, I was so hurt. I felt like you stopped loving me. I was like, why would you stop? It never dawned on me that, I'm getting bigger, I'm getting heavier. None of that mattered, because in my mind, I was still your little girl, and why did you stop? If you could take your grandbabies anywhere, where would you take them?
Disney World.
Disney World. Tell me about Disney World. Why would you pick Disney World?
Because I've been to Disneyland, and I can imagine Disney World would be outrageous.
It's definitely outrageous. It's much bigger, and it's a lot of walking. A lot of walking, for sure. What's the best thing you've done for yourself?
Take my medicines as I should.
I like that. I think that's really awesome. I think that's all my questions. Do you have any other things that...
I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Thank you. I hope this episode gave you some tools to connect with and increase your resiliency. I'm proud of you. Let's keep up the momentum. Follow Resilient Life on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube at Resilient Life Podcast. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.